Oscar's Childhood, Part 18. Welcome, Carrots here. Oscar's on his way to school with all of the other children and teens who are currently living at the boarding school in Chocolate Cake Island, because it's a school day. And as the toddlers have been aging up, we're getting more and more children at school each day. And the last one in to school on this day is the youngest child, the one who's just aged up in the last episode. That's little Susanna, and she is there with the pigtails and the beige and brown top with the long brown trousers. She'll be getting a new outfit shortly. I'm going to put a few of them into Stylist. So there's little Susanna, the last one to go in. There's a few of the Sims are going into Stylist. So back at the nursery we've got two little toddlers left, and they're both starving. Erica's gone to her little son Gator. Carly's gone to her little son Francesco, and Bruce is just standing in the middle all confused. There could be two birthdays during this episode. Gator will age up first. He's only got a couple of days left, and the game would age him up automatically anyway. Francesco could stay a toddler for about another 100 days, but I'm not going to let that happen. He's done his toddler skills. I only have such long toddler periods set, so they don't age up before I get a chance to train them. But once they've been trained, there's no need to keep them as toddlers. Erica seems to be the young adult who consistently knows what the toddlers need. Carly seems to be somewhat useless. Bruce seems to work it out eventually, but it often takes him a bit of a while to do it. Or maybe he was removing Gator from having a routing error there, and he did give him a bottle and moved him away from the problem. Got to get those books picked up yet. But this is one of the last times you'll see this many toddlers in the boarding school. Now with the teens, my aim is generally to get them up to level 7 in gardening, because then they can plant any seed they're likely to find lying around on the ground anywhere. But Bruce has got to level 10 in gardening, and that means he can now plant the Omni plant. And he has a green thumb, so once he got to level 5 he could plant most of the seeds he found and also revive any dead plants. There's a lot of dead plants over in the garden, mostly from neglect, but there's a few that have died because they're death flowers and have been harvested. So Bruce doesn't need to do any more gardening. However, Carly, Erica and Mena are all around level 7 or 8, I think. They don't strictly have to do any more gardening, but I thought they might as well get up to level 10. So I'm going to leave Bruce here because he's now working on his cooking skill. Actually, autonomously, Bruce is working on his martial arts skill. He does that all by himself. I think he's got the discipline trait. He's already smashing lots of space rocks autonomously down in the basement. We'll see him down there later on in the video. But I'll send the three females, Erica, Carly and Mena, across to the garden, and they can work on their gardening skill. Bruce can read cooking books and recipes, while the little pair of toddlers work on their charisma skill in the playpen. Now, I don't know if I've explained this recently or not, but the charisma skill in the playpen, they get that by playing with the mirror once they've been taught to talk. If they haven't been taught to talk, well then they'll learn to talk in the mirror first, and then they will learn charisma. But if they don't have enough friends, you'll get a message saying that they need more friends before they can get any more charisma skill. They've reached the maximum of their charisma skill. And that is why I rotate all of the toddlers in the boarding school through the playpens to make them become friends. But also, children and the young adults and the adults and even the elders, I suppose, can go up to the playpen and play with the toddler in the playpen and make friends that way as well. Now here we are in the garden, and I got tired of all the time they spend watering when they could be harvesting. So Mena is the chief tractor driver, and she's going to water the garden. Then I'll get her to fertilise the garden as well using the tractor. But I won't get her to harvest with the tractor because that takes too long. They just harvest a small part of the garden with each pass, and the sim driving the tractor, their inventory gets so full of harvestables that have been harvested that eventually the tractor starts resetting and even gets deleted sometimes. So I want them all to keep building their gardening skill. They've got to do something in the garden manually. I can't have them all driving tractors around. You see, Mena is getting gardening skill while she's driving the tractor, but the other two wouldn't be getting the skill while Mena drives the tractor. They're only developing their skill by actually doing some gardening. Another thing, while the tractor is actively using the track, Sims can't walk across the track. track. So they are stuck wherever they are at the moment in their gardening. Like if they want to go across the track to harvest another plant, they can't until Mena stops the tractor at the spot where she got on it. But this is a much faster way to water than to just keep doing it with the watering can. I could probably put sprinklers in this garden because it is on ground level. There is a mod that will let sprinklers work on the mats. So I'm using soil mats here so that we can plant indoors without using the move objects on cheat, but the sprinklers don't work in the basements. I've discovered that. Another thing I could use would be the Swift Grow gardening stations, but they take up a lot of space. Or we could get a dragon egg and have green dragons. But again, the green dragon, you soon get overloaded with harvestables, and then the sim and the dragon start resetting and landing out the front gate. And when you get too many, when you sim, their inventory fills up so fast with the dragon and the tractor, if you use them for harvesting, that your sim can end up with thousands of each harvestable in their inventory. And then the game slows down to the point where the sims take about a minute or 2 or 3 between each step. So that becomes unplayable quickly. And then if you work out that it's because you've got too many harvestables in your inventory, and you start taking them out, well, that's a nightmare too, because you grab a whole bunch of about 1,000 harvestables, say 1,000 apples, to dump in your fridge, and the game slowly counts down by ones, and you've got to sit there or walk off and leave it while it counts down from 1,000 to 0 by ones. And then you've got 2,500 grapes of each variety of grape. It can take you a long time to empty the inventory. Now she can go and fertilise the garden. Those white things all over the floor, they're bills, and I can't get rid of them at the moment. I could do radius purge with the debug enabler mod, but then I'd get rid of the soil rugs as well, or any plants that are close by. And there's a lot of them to do lots of radius purges, so I thought I'd just leave them there for the moment. I don't think they're doing any damage. Hopefully they're not what's causing my lag. See how the fertilizer coming out of the tractor looks different from when the water comes out of the tractor. This garden is definitely shrinking quite a lot. Another thing that I've noticed in the past that causes massive lag is when you've got too many of the plants from build mode in the game, because they all wriggle around with the wind and it causes a massive amount of processing power. And if your processor's all tied up making all those build mode plants wave around in the breeze, there isn't much space left over for your sims to walk around and do other things. Now that she's finished fertilising, you can see that the weeding's been done as well. That wasn't what I really wanted to have happen, but it's good that it's all been weeded now. All they have to do is harvest, and they'll still be getting their gardening skill, and it means that they'll get to more plants each time they have a gardening session when we use the tractor to water, weed and fertilise. And that wasn't getting fertilised at all before. With the watering, weeding and fertilising done, the ladies could now concentrate on harvesting. They continued to do that for the rest of the day until the teenagers arrived home from school. When she got home from school, Cricket Irwin headed over to the garden. She likes to go upstairs and paint because her lifetime wish requires her to master painting and the guitar skills. But I wanted to do a bit of gardening, so she's gone to work gardening. She's almost up to level 5 at gardening, and she's got a little bit of work to do yet before she's done enough gardening to make me happy. I'll only get her to level 7 as a teenager. Eric, on the other hand, is already at level 8 in gardening, so I've set him to work cleaning up the mess. First of all, I suspect that the mess has got there from several sims trying to dispose of all the dead plants at the same time and getting to the bin and finding there's already a sim there and just dumping their rubbish on the ground. So there's piles of stinking garbage lying all over the place. Now here is Gator having his birthday. He's going to be a child. Now his toddler days are over and he's got a chocolate cake for his birthday cake. He had to wait for everybody to get home from school before he could have his birthday. There's little Susanna there in the brown pants and the fawn top with the brown trim. She was the last one to age up from toddler to child. She's got the thought bubble with Carly and the big hat. I hope it goes away soon. It's sort of blocking the scenery a lot. There's Oscar on the left of the screen. He's still wearing the clothes he had when he was living with his parents in Irwin. Maybe I'll give him a bit of a makeover. Or maybe I'll leave him as he is. We know that's Oscar. He'll be aging up the teen in another couple of episodes. to give him a good makeover then. Happy birthday, little Gator. It's practically impossible to get a good view of little Gator. Hopefully his mother will walk away like they usually do, because if she doesn't, we aren't going to see him age up. I've done a complete circle all around this cake, and there is no possible way to get a clear view of him. He's either blocked by solid walls or solid Sims. I suppose Erica will just stand there now because she's blocking him from our view. There he goes, and yep, we ain't going to see it happen. But we do get to choose his trait, eccentric. I used to choose that one a fair bit, but I haven't chosen it for a long time. I don't know if it does him any good. I guess it depends on his lifetime wish and his other traits. So there is Gator. Now Oscar's got another little playmate. They can all go fishing together. Gator will probably enjoy fishing because he's a werewolf, and he can eat raw fish out of his inventory if he gets hungry. Hey, Eric got cake again. He got cake when his little sister aged up too, little Susanna. That's Mara Nix. She was having a joyride on the chair when the birthday party was about to start. That's why she's got the helmet on. Mena's got cake too this time. Big heart on the front of her top. See how I put the 3 different coloured banana chairs there underneath those windows when I replaced them? The originals got destroyed by the meteor. But they did a good job. They got it all cleaned up. No one's doing much with that poor little dog. So the party's over and Sims are settling down to read books, recipes, skill books, school books. They're all working hard now on skills. I think that is Gator. It's a bit hard now to tell who's who. There's so many children. And of course, Red and Mithralin. These children and teens, most of them have got wishes to discover a potion. Now Eric is working on his lifetime wish. He wants to be illustrious author. So he's got to get to level 10 in painting and in writing. And I think he's already at level 10 in painting. But he's got a wish to produce a masterpiece or a brilliant painting or something like that. So that's what he's trying for at the moment. He's pretty close to level 10 in writing as well. I think he'll have his lifetime wish complete before he ages up to young adult. If I remember to make him do this writing practice, because he's got a few points to go yet before he gets to the top of writing. It's a shame I had to turn my graphics right down because it's all misty out there now instead of being able to see beauty of Chocolate Cake Island. Reflong 7 did a really good job of making this. It's a nice fantasy place to play with your Sims. There's that alien that just arrived a while ago having an inspection of the boarding school. It happens just about every night. At least no one's getting abducted this time. I'm going to have to share those death flowers out amongst all the occupants of the boarding school. There's not much point having them just lying on the floor. So another meteor hits and Grim Reaper turns up. I think he got his wish. He's got whatever he wished for, he got it from that painting. And I think it is a brilliant painting too. It looks really good, doesn't it? Hello, Gator got singed. That was from the chemistry table. Don't know why he ran outside. He's got a couple of all-in-one bathrooms just next to the chemistry tables. I suppose they like to go for a long run. Gives them a better chance of dying from being burned to death if they're on fire, if they run a long enough distance away from the closest bathroom. That's a teenaged, mysterious Mr. Gnome in the foreground there, with the orange hat and the black and white striped top on. That says teenage form. Homework time. Yes, Gator broke the all-in-one bathroom when he had his bath to wash his singingness off, to get Erica to come and fix it. She's my fix-it sim at the moment. She has been for a few episodes, actually. I haven't gotten rid of any of the spring riders yet. Eric's doing another painting. I think I'll have to start trying to get him to not paint and to get him to write. He has a wish to do some writing as well. I think that painting he's starting now was autonomous. I'm sure I didn't tell him to do it. So we're having a gathering after school. We've all come inside from the school bus. And the other thing that's happened is I've had a few little Sims into Stylist. And look at Carly's new look. She's got new hair, no hat on, and she's not wearing long pants anymore. She's got a skirt to go with that top. I've kept her with the hat on as well as another outfit. The reason she had that hat and long pants to start with is because of Bruce's lifetime wish. He needs to go off adventuring in the World Adventure Worlds, and I thought she could look like a proper adventurer with that hat and long trousers on. So that looks like Oscar and Wilhelmina, and I suspect it's time for school. Yes, the bus is out there honking at them. At least they didn't get singed. If they keep going back to those chemistry tables regularly, they will gradually get their logic skill up. I don't know that they'll discover very many potions. It's a lot of stairs to go down there. I haven't seen anyone playing ping pong yet. But the idea of the boarding school is to scatter as many skilling objects and entertainment objects around as possible to get as big a variety as possible of skills for all the little occupants of the boarding school. Finally, everyone makes it onto the bus, and Mena goes out and collects the mail, and off they go to school. Luckily, Mena can just waft through buses, otherwise she would have been splattered. It looks like Erica and Carrie are going to have a game of soccer. I find Erica goes out there quite a lot. She's actually got herself up to level 10 in the athletic skill, and her lifetime wish is to be a superstar athlete. She has to get to level 9 of the athletics career. When she's got her fishing and gardening and cooking and that sort of stuff up high enough, I'll let her go off and get into the athletics career, see if she can get her lifetime wish. She probably won't be able to do it though before it's time for Oscar and Eric to leave this world and go travelling. Oh, the bus is letting them out over there today, so a taxi goes and skittles a lot of them. We got another extra new child for school today. Yesterday Susanna was the new one, and today Gator had been added to the group. Just got little Francesco to go. Let's go back and do some more gardening while the children are at school, and Francesco's in the nursery. Mena, I think, is driving the tractor again, and Bruce ought to be reading recipe books because he's working on his cooking skill. Carly hasn't got to that yet, so lucky that Bruce is able to cook. Carly can do a bit of cooking, but she's mostly just been trying to catch up with gardening so far. There's Erica working on her gardening skill. Those banana trees, they're from a mod. You get the banana trees and the coconut trees. So I got them from Mod The Sims. There's Bruce. He's down in the basement reading recipes. And this basement's got all sorts of extra skilling things you haven't probably seen yet. There's the nectar making machines and all of the martial arts equipment. This is where he keeps sneaking off to work on his martial arts skill. I'm always rescuing the martial arts equipment from Bruce. And here is little Francesco all by himself with his imaginary friend in the nursery, just one lonely little toddler. And his daddy is all the way down in the basement reading recipe books, and everybody else is across the road working in the garden or at school. So lucky he's got an imaginary friend to talk to. He's giving it a bit of a beating, so I tried to tell him to sing to it. Because if it ages up and it's mean because it's been beaten up all the time by its owner, I won't be very happy at all. Now this is the graveyard. Now I had to set it up. Obviously I didn't feel very enthusiastic about graveyards at the time. At least I managed to put a mausoleum in it. It's a very bare looking graveyard. The children are there at the mausoleum for an after school excursion. Oh well, they got home from school. They survived the mausoleum trip. They're all doing their homework. After their homework was done, some of the children and teens jumped at the opportunity to go out to the little fishing hole and see what they could catch. And I was happy for them to have a chance to improve their fishing skill. And then the raccoon snuck past. I always like to try to get at least one scene with the raccoon in it, because I went for so many years playing this game, absolutely convinced that there were no raccoons in my games. Proved myself wrong, didn't I? Faith Macduff came out to join them. Her fishing skill's only at about level 2 or 3, and she needs to get to level 7 before she ages up to young adult. And she's going to age up to young adult in a few days, whether I give a cake or the game just does it. So I don't think she's going to make it, but we're going to have a good go at getting her up there. She'll stick around to the boarding school for a while as a young adult anyway, so she can still grow her skills. A little later, as it was starting to get dark, Cricket Irwin and some of the children turned up, and they all fished until it was almost time for their curfew. We didn't want to get them arrested. Not that I've seen a police car driving around in this world. I think I've got the police station in it somewhere, but I haven't had a child arrested yet. Not in this game. As Alison, she thinks it's better on this side of the fishing hole. I think I might get rid of some of the flowers and plants that are around this fishing hole because they could be adding to the lag as well. Don't think they'd be causing lag when they're on the home lot though. And Susanna turned up. Wow, we'll have them all here soon. And she's found a spot to stand and throw in a line. You see, Susanna's no longer got her long brown pants. She's got a little fawn-coloured skirt that matches her top. She's been to stylist and she's got a whole new wardrobe. All of her outfits have been fixed up for her now. And Kathleen's over there hiding behind a rock. Is that Gator showing up now? He's a bit late. Looks like he's in... Oh, he's been playing holding court from the costume chest. He must have found the costume chest. I have no idea where it is, but it must be in the building somewhere for him to be in that outfit. He needs to learn to fish too. Being a little werewolf, he'll gain a lot from fishing, because he'll be able to carry raw fish around in his inventory and eat them whenever he gets hungry. Paparazzi have turned up. Now the paparazzi is standing in amongst the children who are fishing, and they're having a conversation with each other. They've returned home from fishing, and I'm wondering where Gator got that birthday cake from, because there can't possibly have been any leftovers in the fridge. There's more Sims at each party than there is pieces of cake. However, somehow Gator has managed to score a slice of birthday cake. I don't know what Mara's had, but it looks like it was proper food. Wilhelmina's over there getting some gumballs out of the gumball machine. A little Francesco just walked out the door. It's about time he aged up and became a child. Bruce has found the stove. I think he was trying to cook upstairs, and he got as far as putting everything in the saucepan, but there's only one adult type stove in the house, so he had to come down to the kitchen. Upstairs there's a fridge and 2 toy stoves for the children to learn to cook on. Once Francesco has aged up, I will start all of the newly aged up children learning their cooking and block skills. Alison often puts in an appearance as she is gathering up all the dirty plates to clean up everywhere, put it in the dishwasher. At least she can use the dishwasher. See how I put it on the opposite side of the room to the sink and away from the stove and the fridge so that they have no trouble getting to the dishwasher. There shouldn't be anyone standing in front of it cooking. I've even placed something on the countertop so that the Sim shouldn't be able to stand in front of the dishwasher to cook or prepare a meal. Red and Mithralin's there as well. We haven't seen much of him lately. Looks like Bruce was hungry. He's got himself something to eat from the food he just cooked. He should know quite a few recipes by now. I'm getting him to read all the possible recipes as he moves up the cooking skill. A lot of gnomes hanging out on that desk. I'll have to replace the chair and the computer that were there before as well. I think they got destroyed in the meteor attack. So there's a mother-daughter confrontation going on here with 2 werewolves. Erica and her little daughter Wilhelmina are both werewolves. And they don't always get along by the look of it, although usually things are quite peaceful. School buses out there. Eric was working on his fiction novel because he needs to get his lifetime wish, which is illustrious author. And he's completed the painting skill. He's just got to complete the writing skill. And he's about a level 7 or 8 in writing, so he hasn't got a long way to go to get his lifetime wish. He just needs to get to level 10 in both painting and writing. He's already at level 10 in painting. So I've got to remember to keep him working at his writing for the next few episodes till he finally gets his lifetime wish. That's it, little Mara finally get on the bus. And I've got Bruce preparing meals, because I want to fill the fridge up so that they don't have to eat birthday cake when they come home from fishing. Hopefully he'll put that in the fridge. I might just drag it across to the fridge. The fridge is right there. A part of the lag issue with this game is I can't always move the focus to where I want it to be. It'll just decide that it'll park itself where it is. So that's a bit frustrating, as well as having all these really long lags. So Bruce is making use of all of the kitchen equipment to prepare his meals. I've got him cooking a whole lot of different recipes. Rather than get really good at just one, he's getting okay at a lot. It'll give the different little Sims in the household a choice. So it's after school, they've come home and they're all doing their homework. Yes, I figure if Bruce has cooked lots of different meals, it'll increase the chances one of them will have of eating their favourite meal. When they have their favourite meal, they give a little clap. And when they're playing their favourite music, they get a moodlet. They get a +10 moodlet for enjoying the music, and a +20 moodlet if it's their favourite music that happens to be playing. So Eric's decided to go out and slide in the slippery slide. He's got his swimmers on. He likes to go out there and slip and slide, but I want him upstairs writing. And here's the children home from school now. I guess that means even more homework. I think we'll skip the homework for the children and move on to something more exciting. I spy a birthday cake. There's only one Sim in the household at the moment who I know of who's due for a birthday. That would be one little Francesco, only toddler in the boarding school. He's going to join his little friends and become a child. So happy birthday, Francesco. That's his mother, Carly, holding him. And that's his father in the brown martial arts outfit, spinning one of their spinning things that makes a noise to celebrate the birthday. The number of children has certainly increased since we started aging up toddlers. And even the other two little girls, Kathleen and Alison, they've been children all through Oscar's time at the boarding school, but just before Oscar arrived at the boarding school, they aged up from toddlers. So they have not been children for long. Cricket Irwin, she was a child in the boarding school and she aged up to teen. There he is. Francesco is now a child. I think the brave and good traits he's already got were given to him by the game, because I don't think I was controlling his household when he was born. And he's got disciplined because it was available to him, and his father has the same trait. And he looks just like his father. Was the strangest looking toddler I'd ever seen. He never had the chubby toddler look about his face. He always had that long gaunt look that his father has. So that will be the end of the video. We'll leave them happily eating their birthday cake and enjoying their party. And thank you for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed the video. There will be another one in this series straight after this one, because I've still got at least 15 minutes worth of video recorded, and I might as well put another video out with that, just record a little bit more, because it's undoubtedly going to lose some of it to lag. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. And don't forget, if you've enjoyed the video, please give it a like, and if you'd like to make sure you see future videos, then, and you haven't already subscribed, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell button so that you always get notifications. I try to do at least one video a week. Sometimes I do more and sometimes I do less. Bye bye for now, and happy simming.